His Excellency Governor
and all the members of NWC that are seated here, and those who are accompanying me, let me respectfully stand on all your existing protocols, Chairman, and thank Dr. Doyi for that wonderful introduction. I think it was a conspiracy with them. Chairman and leaders of our great party, let me start by most sincerely thanking you for this audience, for permission, for the honor to meet with you this morning. I don't take this in any way for granted. I'm sincerely grateful. Let me also thank you, and all of you sincerely, for what you're doing for our party. Since the inception of this team, all they've been doing is trying to solve various problems of our party. I just saw the inauguration of Kanu caretaker. Kanu, as you know, like Anambra, is one of those states where there's incessant problems, and I could see how you're taking care of it. So I thank you for what you're doing, and continue to remember you in the next prayers for success. I'm just here this morning. I could have said, let me come when I couldn't come to buy the form because a group of young men said, oh, we're going to buy the form. So I would have seen you there. But I said, I have to come and see you before coming back to submit the form. And be able to tell you, yes, I'm contesting. And I'm not contesting because I have a desperation that I, P2B, must be the president of Nigeria. But I have a desperation, and Nigeria must get it right in 2023, or we don't have a country again. And getting it right will start by making sure that somebody who has capacity, competence to lead this country is in charge. What we're going through today is cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years. I don't need to tell you I was with the Senate last night. That's why maybe members of the Senate from Anambra State, the Southeast, is not here with me. I was with the Senate last night. I was with the National House of Representatives last night, and I told them. And the reason why I started with you people is that because you pass the budget, so I can show you what is happening with your country. And I reminded them, today Nigeria, the country which you're going to save, is on the top list of fragile, failing states. If you go there, you will see Nigeria clearly. Today, if you go to terrorist index measure, Nigeria now ranks the same place with Afghanistan, Yemen, and thereabouts. Of course, everybody knows that we are the world poverty capital. Even before COVID, Nigeria had more people living in poverty than the two biggest countries of the world combined, India and China. Out of school children, you are aware, we have the highest. We just passed India in infant mortality. Drug prevalence in Nigeria now is 14.8% against the average world average of 5.8%. Chairman, the list is endless. As stress impact of drugs and missing deaths have dropped, we're now worse in a situation. Nigerians now spend over 100% of their wage on feeding. You can go on and on, education, everything will collapse. Our death. Like I was opportune to meet somebody who is in charge of approving the loans they were borrowing in the Senate yesterday. And I told him that unfortunately you are approving the loans they're borrowing. But those loans have put us into a mess because those loans were consumed without being productive. First 5 months of last year, Chairman, we earned 1,847 billion as a country revenue, and we service our debts with 1,802. So we were left only 45 billion. Last year, we decided we were going to borrow only 4 trillion. The federal government ended up borrowing 6.5 trillion. This year, the approved budget shows 17 trillion, and we are going to borrow only 7. So far, our revenue progression, we will not make 50% of that revenue, which means we are going to borrow about 10 trillion. We are using 98% of our revenue to service debt. By the end of this year, Chairman will use over 100% to. We are now borrowing to service debt. In the past 1 year, we've not put any money aside where we're supposed to put money to pay for those loans. The sinking fund has not received any money. Chairman, I can go on and on. We cannot continue like this. We have no other country except this one. And there's nothing left. The country is not just broke. The country has a problem. And the problem is that it's not productive. You have the highest unemployment anybody, a country of our size can think of. That's 3.5%. If you combine the unemployment, we're over 55%. What is worse in this is 60% is our young people who are the greatest productive assets and in their age of production. Which means when they get to your age, you don't have anything to fall back on. Chairman, they will eat everybody alive. Because today you're sitting here because you have talent. But the younger ones are not doing anything. They're not producing anything today. So when they get to your age, there won't be any country. So we have a crisis. The country is not productive. Every day you're saying, you hear government say they have a revenue problem, not a borrowing problem. We have a revenue problem because your people are poor. Poor people cannot pay tax. They are not going to create money. They are looking for money to eat. So you cannot go to them and say, come and pay you tax. Tax is the function of production. And the country is not productive. And we have to make this country productive. It is simple. Chairman, the next election, we are not going to be electing a president who will be looking at this country. I told the National Assembly yesterday, there's nothing to share again. We're not looking for those who share what we have. We want wealth creators. And I'm asking, as a party, let us go and look at people's background. Where are they coming from? What have they been able to do in the past 30 years to create wealth? And it's I like what Donald said about me when he was talking. But basically, my background is that I'm a trainer. That's what I do. And I do it every day. I believe in it. Yes, it's taking me where I've got the height of trading. I've also got the height of public cooperation, including being chairman of SEC. Even when I said the SEC is not doing their job very well. Capital market working. Because our capital market is so shallow where we are not even worth 5% of South African capital market and we're the biggest economy. And I've been a governor. We have managed public money. The problem of Nigeria is that we need people who have trust on how to manage public money. And that's what we need, so we can invest it properly. I just came back from Morocco. After traveling to 31 countries, asking a question, what is wrong with Nigeria? Morocco is doing well today and being celebrated in Africa. Morocco is owing. Everybody is owing. Everybody is borrowing money. Morocco's debt to GDP is about 80%. But, Chairman, if you go to Morocco, I drove from the capital, Rabat, to their port, 300 kilometers. I didn't see one police on the road. There was no hold up. That port is the biggest port in Africa, doing 3 times what all the Nigerian ports do to combine. For the 3 hours I was there, I could see how cargoes are being done. They go more than Nigeria. But that is not a problem. Chairman, I've been to Bangladesh in 2010. That's where I was from. And I spent 1 week. And I always use these countries because they are countries with big population. I don't want to start referring us to Singapore. No. These are countries of big population. Chairman, when I was in Singapore in 2010, Singapore was owing $45 billion on a GDP of $415,000. And their per capita was just a little bit above $700. In 2010, Nigerian GDP was $375 and our per capita was $2,250. Today, Nigerian GDP is 400. Our per capita is 2,000. So we lost 10% of where we are in 2010. In 2010, our debt was just about 20% of what it is today. Today we are owing about $100 billion. The last PDP government in 2008 cleared all our dollar debts. I was remaining on this domestic debt. Today our dollar debt is hitting about $50 billion. And all this debt is excluding the ways and means, which if you added, will be owing about $120 billion without anything to show for it. Chairman, it's a crisis situation. And PDP is in position to help to elect a competent person that can start solving this problem. Because if we get it wrong, we will not have the country. Anybody will tell you, they'll tell you, oh, America said the country will do this, do that, and it's still standing. It's standing because a big ship, when it's sinking, takes time. We are sinking. We don't have what it takes today as a country to exist. Even our so-called reserve cannot support our import for 6 months. There's a threshold which you are allowed to keep. So we have a crisis situation. So my pleading is that whatever you and your team is doing, let us ensure that we get it right. I thank you people for the wonderful work. Mine is that we cannot be with our children anarchy, which is where we are now. We are bequeathing our children anarchy. It is not about somebody who is going to come next to be the president and answer Mr. President, but somebody who will start creating wealth and making the country productive from day one. Once again, I thank you for this audience. Thank you.
PDP, power to the people. Thank you very much, sir. That is one of the aspirants of our great party for the position of the office of the president, addressing the National Working Committee, and his knowledge on the economy of our country. Without preempting Mr. Chairman's response, let me humbly invite Chairman to the microphone for his response. Chairman, sir.
Your Excellency, Governor Peter Obi, who is also our vice presidential candidate in 2019. On behalf of the National Working Committee, we want to welcome you to your party headquarters and to thank you most sincerely for coming today to not just see us, but indicating your interest in the presidency of this country. We think you are eminently qualified to be the president of Nigeria. Not only that, we want to appreciate your record of service to this country, and also the fact that you are one of the candidates that sticks to issues. When people of your quality show interest in our party to run for the presidency, we know that we are the right party to rule this country. All the candidates that have voted for so far, aspirants, are people that, if given the opportunity to run this country, they will do 1,000 times better than what President Buhari and the APC have done in the last 6 years. We have the quality, and we believe that Nigerians will give the PDP the opportunity for one of you to lead the rescue mission which we are determined to do in the next couple of months. As I said, we appreciate the fact that you are an issue-based politician. There is no time you talk that you attack other people. I am calling on every presidential aspirant on our platform to emulate your example. Every aspirant should tell us what they think is wrong in the country and how to solve it. I think the information you usually provide on security, on economic issues, are very helpful to the growth of the party. Everyone knows today that we are a debtor nation for no justifiable reason. You can't commit your resources to that level of debt servicing and develop the country. And we believe with people like you in the party coming forward to show interest, at the end of the day, we'll produce a candidate that all of you will rally around and solve the problems of this country. We thank you most sincerely for your commitment to this party at every level, whether in your home state of Anambra or at the national level. You have shown uncommon zeal and commitment to grow this party. Let me say that as a national working committee, we intend to be very neutral at this stage, neutral with interest, because there are many of you who will be coming forward. As much as we can, and we believe we'll try our best to provide you with a level playing field, so that win or lose, you will know that it is the decision of ordinary party members to select one of you. If I had the chance, because all of you are of such great quality, I would have said the next 8 years that we will be in power, we will divide the time equally among you, maybe one year or 2 years. So that Nigerians can see the quality that the PDP has. But even though I don't have such powers, any one of you that the delegates will finally decide to bear our flag, all the others must contribute, unite behind such a person. So I urge you to interact among yourselves, those of you who are showing interest. Work as a team, because the real contest is ahead. When somebody emerges as the presidential candidate of the PDP, we shall be facing the shadow PDP, which Doyin Okupe has aptly identified, because those are the dregs that live the real thing. The real quality is still in the house, and we shall definitely work very hard, support all of you to win the presidential elections next year. So you are in the right house, not join the dregs. Thank you for coming, and I wish you, on behalf of the National Working Committee, I wish you the very best. So that next year, who knows, it may be President Peter Obi, but on the PDP ticket. If it is not President Peter Obi, it will still a PDP president. That is all we are looking for. Thank you and God bless you.
PDP, power to the people. That's the response of the national chairman. For emphasis, it guarantees that the National Working Committee will provide level playing field. So that means all the aspirants are to ingratiate themselves with the delegates to the election. On this note, let me humbly invite the National Secretary to move a vote on terms. National Secretary, sir.
Your Excellency, the Chairman, the Great Chairman of our party, Dr. Yachuayo, and my colleagues and partners, members of the NWC, our leader, and one of the foremost leaders in the Southeast and of course Nigeria, Mr. Peter Obi, as it's formally wanted to be called. So I am encouraged. We came with a assemblage of great men and women, starting from a leader left our mother here, who has presided over the women in Nigeria as national woman leader of our great party, Chief Mrs. Josephine Anene. And I've seen one of the great image makers of our party in the past, and the former national vice chairman of our great party in the Southeast before, Barrister Odisameto, the company. I've seen our former Cuban candidate and the deputy Cuban candidate before in Anambra State in the 2019-2017 elections. So I want to welcome that's the chairman, the governorship candidate and deputy governor candidate of the daughter of our foremost leader, the founder of PDP, the women of the Blessed Memory. And in your midst, I know we've seen the great orator, the man who I'm sure he must have withdrawn from this race because of you. Because today he's speaking on your behalf. Doyin Okupe, a great man. And other people that came with you, want to sincerely thank you for coming. We've heard you, we've listened to you. I'm sure you are the second aspirant, the presidential aspirant that have come to speak to the NWC. Last time we had in audience the Alhaji Yahadudin, who came to speak to us. Today you are the second person, and I'm sure many more will come. What we say here is, may God help you in your aspiration. And we say, like what Chairman has said, we are going to have very free ground for people to operate. Our interest is to make sure that we don't see this monster again, who have already sacked a check for speaking the truth just 2 days ago. So our party is ready to move. I can assure you we're prepared together to make sure we win. Thank you for coming. And like our chairman said, we want a very record-free primaries and campaign. go about your businesses. May God lead you. You are going out and you are coming in. On this note, I want to say thank you and thank you for coming. God bless you.
Thank you very much, National Secretary, for thanking everyone. Please let's rise for National Anthem as we close.